Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Wednesday, October 9 recap. Laura returns as Lucky contemplates PC escape. Christina gives Anna Kate's info. General Hospital, GH, spoilers recap for Wednesday, October 9, reveals that Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, lashed out at Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, for trashing Gobbies, and then felt bad when she realized he likely did it because he couldn't save Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens. At the coffee warehouse, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, told Jason Morgan, Steve Furton, the kiss was a one-time thing and that they should leave what happened in Africa, so Jason was good with that. Anna also warned against getting tangled up with the WSB. So Jason made it clear that he had no intention of letting Jack Brennan, Charles Mazur, suck him in. In Anna's office later, Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaganos, ranted about Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, still being locked up and pushed Anna to find evidence against Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. Back with Lucky, he sought Jason's help getting back to Africa since he needed a new passport and money. Lucky obviously felt pretty useless since he wasn't able to save Lulu's life. Jason wondered if Lucky was really going to leave his loved ones again, especially without saying goodbye. Although Jason gave Lucky $10 grand and admitted he couldn't tell him what to do, it was obvious he thought Lucky should stay. At the GH chapel, Lucky prayed for guidance and got a sign at exactly the right time since Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, walked through the door. Laura greeted Lucky by name, so he turned to look at her and got even more emotional. At Bobby's, Dex Heller, Evan Hofer, and another officer investigated the disturbance there. But Jocelyn insisted it was a family misunderstanding and that they wouldn't be pressing charges. Dex left for a bit, but he came back to help Jocelyn clean up the mess and got updates on the Lucky situation. Molly came along later and wanted to know if she could get a sweet tea, so Jocelyn offered some on the house and proposed a toast to better days. At Pentonville, Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, visited Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, who basically pushed her not to spill anything or make any moves. At Pazzulo's, Sonny and Natalia Ramirez, Eva LaRue, nearly kissed in a close moment, but Sonny had to step into his office to take a call. Christina popped up and chatted with Natalia about Blazaka Allison Allie Rogers, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, who was doing great on her tour. That news warmed Christina's heart, said she only wanted the best for Allie. And Natalia knew Allison felt the same about Christina. After Natalia took off, Christina spoke to Sonny about Alexis' dilemma and insisted she couldn't just do nothing like her mom wanted. Sonny said Alexis' trial was in 3 weeks and suggested a lot could happen between now and then. Since Christina just couldn't help herself, she wound up in Anna's office and declared that she had information on the night John Jagger Cates, Adam J. Harrington, was killed. Back with Sonny, he summoned Jason to discuss the case as well. If the gun Alexis dumped wasn't found, then Sonny said he'd have to take the fall. Jason insisted the cops needed to come into possession of that gun. At the Metro Court, Elaine Judy Kane, the private investigator, snapped pics of Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, going into Brennan's room and eventually rattled the door trying to get in. Brennan opened up and immediately recognized Elaine was a PI, so he slammed the door on her while Carly hid out of sight. Felicia Scorpio, Christina Wagner, called Carly to let her know someone was tailing her, so Brennan distracted Elaine so that Carly could slip out. Once Carly met with Felicia, she thanked her for the save. Felicia thought that Carly needed to find out why she was being tailed, but our prediction suggests that Carly already has a pretty good idea due to her phony alibi. General Hospital spoilers say Carly will face off with Sonny over the chaos, she's been pulled into soon enough, so stay tuned. On Wednesday, October 9, General Hospital delivered a whirlwind of emotions and unraveling secrets, setting the stage for high drama as Laura made her long-anticipated return, and Lucky Spencer faced a major crossroads. Meanwhile, Christina's unexpected involvement with Agent Anna Cates left viewers on edge, as critical information was handed over that could change everything. Laura's triumphant return. The episode began with a touching reunion as Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, returned to Port Charles after months of being away. Her presence immediately brought warmth and comfort to those around her, especially her son Lucky, Jonathan Jackson, who had been wrestling with inner demons. Laura, always the nurturing mother, immediately sensed that something was amiss. Her gentle probing led Lucky to reveal just how troubled his heart and mind were. Lucky had been considering leaving Port Charles again. He had always been the wandering soul of the Spencer family, and the recent events in town, particularly surrounding his relationship with Elizabeth, had left him questioning his place. The strain between him and his brother, Nicholas, hadn't helped matters either. As Laura listened, she could see the pain in Lucky's eyes, the constant tug-of-war between his desire for adventure and his deep connections in Port Charles. She reminded him of the legacy the Spencers had built in the town and how important family had always been to them. But Lucky couldn't shake the feeling that staying in Port Charles was suffocating him. The weight of his past, his tumultuous history with Elizabeth, his battles with addiction, and the complex family dynamics seemed too heavy to bear. Laura, in her motherly wisdom, told Lucky that no matter where he went, he couldn't outrun himself. Home isn't just a place, she said softly. It's the people we love, and sometimes it's the hardest thing to face. Her words struck a chord, but Lucky remained conflicted, torn between the familiar safety of Port Charles and the freedom he sought elsewhere. Lucky's inner struggle. Later in the episode, Lucky found himself wandering through the streets of Port Charles, lost in thought. He reminisced about his childhood, the adventures with his father, Luke, and the wild ride that had been his life up until now. As he passed by the docks, where so many pivotal moments in his life had unfolded, Lucky couldn't help but wonder if it was time for a clean break, a chance to reinvent himself away from the ghosts of his past. But every step he took seemed to bring him back to one undeniable truth. His family needed him. Whether it was his mother, who had just returned, his sister Lulu, or even his ex, Elizabeth, who had been an integral part of his life, they were all tied to him in ways that made it difficult to simply walk away. As the day went on, Lucky's resolve to leave wavered, setting up a decision that could change his future and the lives of those around him forever. Christina's crucial move. Meanwhile, over at Charlie's Pub, Christina Corinthos Davis, Lexi Ainsworth, was facing a dilemma of her own. Her relationship with her family, particularly her father, Sonny Corinthos, had been rocky as of late. The tension had been building for months, and Christina found herself at a crossroads, wanting to prove her independence, but also grappling with the responsibilities that came with being a Corinthos. Christina had recently crossed paths with Agent Anna Cates, Tamara Braun, a no-nonsense WSB agent who had been digging into some of Port Charles' darkest corners. Christina knew that Anna had been investigating her family, particularly the shady dealings of Sonny and his associates, and it wasn't long before the two women found themselves in an uneasy alliance. In this episode, Christina met with Anna at a quiet booth in the pub, nervously glancing around to make sure no one was watching. She was about to hand over information that could tip the scales in Anna's investigation, information that Christina wasn't entirely sure she should be sharing. Anna, always calculating and cool under pressure, carefully pried into Christina's knowledge of her father's latest business dealings. Christina hesitated, torn between her loyalty to her family and her desire to break free from the criminal underworld that had cast a shadow over her life. After a few tense moments, Christina finally handed over a flash drive containing critical details about a mysterious shipment Sonny had been involved with. "I don't know if this will help," Christina said, her voice shaky but determined. "But I can't keep pretending that everything's okay." Anna's expression remained unreadable as she took the drive, but the subtle nod she gave Christina spoke volumes. This information was vital, and Christina had just made a move that could have far-reaching consequences, not just for herself, but for her entire family. Anna's dangerous game. After leaving Christina, Anna made her way to her car, already beginning to formulate a plan. The intel Christina had provided was more than just a breadcrumb. It was a full-blown trail that could expose one of Sonny's major operations. Hannah knew that going after Sonny Corinthos wasn't just dangerous, it was practically suicidal. But she also knew that she was too close to the truth to back down now. As she reviewed the data on the flash drive, Anna realized that Christina had unknowingly given her a link to something far bigger than just Sonny's business. The shipment wasn't just about money or power. It was tied to a much larger conspiracy that reached beyond Port Charles, potentially implicating several powerful figures. Anna's mind raced as she pieced together the fragments of information she had collected over the past few weeks. She would need to act fast, but she couldn't go it alone. A dangerous game was unfolding, and she would have to carefully choose her allies moving forward. One wrong move, and it wouldn't just be her career on the line. It could be her life. Closing moments. Tensions rise. As the episode drew to a close, tensions were running high throughout Port Charles. Lucky stood on the edge of a decision that could take him away from the only home he had ever known. Laura watched her son with concern, knowing that whatever choice he made would have lasting repercussions for their family. Meanwhile, Christina found herself haunted by the decision she had made. She had taken a major risk by trusting Anna, and now the wheels were in motion for a potential fallout that could rip her family apart. Anna, for her part, knew that the stakes had never been higher. With Christina's information in hand, she was ready to make her next move. But the danger was mounting, and there was no turning back now. Port Charles was on the brink of major upheaval, and the ripple effects of these choices were only just beginning.